No, I lost my other recording. Okay, I'm restarting this what if because I lost my other recording. Um, I'm actually really mad right now, but what am I? I'm pretty new to this. This is my first what if. And this is gonna be what if Deku knew all the breathing styles. I'm almost inclined to like skip through to just where I was, but I won't do that. I won't do that. Okay, basically, I'm gonna do a quicker explanation, not as much in detail as I was last time. Though, if you guys want a better explanation, just ask me and I'll explain it. Basically, Demon Slayer, everybody, Tanjiro, everybody is dead. Basically, everybody dies from Muzan Keibutsuji. Everybody from the Demon Slayer verse, but only three survive, which is Nezuko, Zenitsu, and Tanjiro. But then the new age of heroes starts, and they're sitting back and watching. Well, Nezuko and Zenitsu actually end up getting married and moving to America. But he thought he killed but Tanjiro getting older, he thought he killed Muzan Keibutsuchi. But eventually he came back and there's been an influx in demons. But there's only a rare occurrence when they're real demons. He turns animals and things like that into real demons, and when he does that, like they gain a conscience. But the only people he can actually turn into demons are like original strong like 12 Kiseki material type demons are humans with no quirk, because the quirk gene overpowers the the, the 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 demon gene. Because I'm gonna say that the quirk gene is just like a purifying agent and is like replicated every single day that you train your body or your quirk replicates faster, making your quirk stronger and more better, I guess. So yeah, he makes what I'm calling artificial demons. Basically what he does is he creates demons from scratch, or he kills humans. He kills humans and uses their body when the demon could still use their quirk. And lastly, uh, there's like sort of like what Orochimaru does to he gives like a curse mark, and basically they can like use demon powers along with their quirk and still be themselves. They're not like a full blown demon. So yeah, okay. And pro heroes actually, Tanjiro doesn't come out of retirement to fight demons because pro heroes can fight demons because they're not like real demons, like where you need a Nichiren katana to kill. But if he does like get a quirkless person or like a bear or something and turns that into a demon, you do need a special katana. So if it's one of those type of demons, there is something called the demon eradication team unit. And basically what they do is they're just a bunch of like strong heroes that specialize in trapping, like just trapping the bees until the sun hits, so that way they can die to the sun. Obviously they're still regular villains too. Okay, now we're gonna actually cut to the real story. Deku is born, same, and he still goes to the same school, and him and Bakugo are actually really cool, or really good friends. And Bakugo is actually expecting Deku's quirk to be amazing, the best in the class, because Deku's parents were both a part of the demon eradication unit, and that's only comprised of strong heroes in the top 10. And Deku's dad had a fire quirk, and his mom had a telekinesis quirk, and they were both top heroes. And then, at the end of their careers, joined the demon eradication unit, and then retired soon after. They had a run-in with Muzan Keibutsuji. He was the only demon that they couldn't defeat, so they eventually retired to protect their son, and they're hoping that they can train their son to become a great enough hero, better than they were, to defeat Muzan Keibutsuji. But by the way, the Midoriyas are, yeah. So basically, when Bakugo unlocks his quirk, he's like he's not really bullying Deku because he thinks Deku still is gonna get a quirk and a good one at that. But Deku goes to the quirk doctor and he tells him that Deku's not getting a quirk. Deku is actually torn by hearing this. And when he goes to school and he tells Bakugo the news, instead of being a good friend like Deku hoped, Bakugo started to bully him. He told him that he was better than him and stuff like that. And technically, he wasn't wrong. He was stronger than him, technically, but it was still not a very nice thing to say. And it really made him feel bad. But then he started bullying Deku, in fact. And Deku couldn't take it. So he told, and his mom, he couldn't tell his mom because his mom didn't love him. His mom hated him because the Midoras were a very prestigious hero family, and he was the only one to ever be quirkless. So they were torn, and they didn't want to be known to be associated with that weakling. So they changed his last name. They removed his last name, so his name is just Izuku, no last name. And Inko abused Deku and beat him until his body was at the brink. And then, but then she realized, but she was still paying for his clothing and dinner and stuff like that because she didn't want to kill him. She was after all a hero. She wasn't a murderer. Um, but then she just told him she just thought that he was too much of a burden than he was worth. So she just picked him up one day from school and told him and drove him straight into a forest really far out and dropped him off. Okay, this is where I got to last time. Hopefully I don't delete the recording on accident. Okay. Basically, Deku has been in this forest for about 3 years because he was 4 when this happened. So he's actually pretty built for a 7-year-old. Not built like bulky, like more like a cut build, like like he has muscle mass, like you could see it, but it's like very slim, like he's a very slim person. Um, if that makes sense. And he's been hunting and gathering pretty much for this entire 3 years to survive and sleeping in the wilderness. And then one day he finds a cabin and he watches the cabin all day and there was no movement or activity inside. Nobody came home to it. But but then so he just went in and took it. There was a bucket of just a bunch of swords and he actually picked one up. He thought maybe these would come in handy and he didn't understand why the guy that abandoned this place would leave these here. He picked one up and it instantly started to turn. The katana started flashing like different colors, almost like pulsing different colors. He's pulsing orange, pulsing blue, pulsing yellow, pulsing white, pulsing gray, pulse, pulsing purple, and pulsing red. And it's basically just pulsing all these different colors. Any color, it could be a rainbow katana if you want. It's just pulsing all these different katana colors. And then he puts it down and it instantly stops and just turns straight to green. He didn't really understand what that meant, but he thought it was just a cool sword. Eventually went in the pantry, got himself something to eat, and fell asleep. When he woke up, there was a man in there preparing dinner, and he said, "You're finally awake. What's your name? What are you doing all the way out here? Where's your parents?" And he said, "My name is Izuku well, not Midori anymore. My mom abandoned me 3 years ago because I don't have a quirk." And not Deku, Tanjiro was like, "Well, don't feel bad." Tanjiro's an old man, by the way. "I don't have a quirk either, but that doesn't mean I'm not powerful." And then Deku's like, how are you powerful with no quirk? And then and Tanjiro was just like, and he's just like, you said you didn't have any family, and he said, well, not anymore. Then I could probably teach you. I could see that you already picked up one of my Nichirin katanas, and it turned green. And he says, oh yes, sorry about that, sir. But earlier it was actually like pulsing rainbow. And I don't know what that means. Like, not rainbow, but like a bunch of different colors. Like red, purple, stuff like that. And Tanjiro is actually shocked. The prophecy is coming to fruition, if that's the correct word. The prophecy was that a, ch- a lone child, with powerless, will then become the most powerful. And basically, in the picture is a rainbow katana, katana turning different colors with a bunch of different elements around him wielding every single element. And the prophecy was called the Last Hashira. And basically, he thinks that Deku is going to be the last Hashira of every single element, of every single breathing style. So he tells him, grab the sword after dinner. They eat dinner, and he tells him, grab the sword. We're going to train. And I'm going to train you hard. If you want power, you have to work. And Deku agrees. Okay, and then the first thing he teaches him is all the styles of water breathing. And Deku gets that down really quickly, and he says, if you can cut this boulder in half, we'll move on to the next like what's it called? Next style. So yeah, he does. He cuts it in half after a couple days. He's a prodigy. And Tanjiro told him it took him months to do. So now he's thinking that Deku actually is the prodigy of Demon Slayers. So then I'm gonna say 7 years pass. So yeah, Tanjiro takes 1 year of Deku, and Deku is now 7, and that's when he like cut the boulder in half. That's when he accomplished it, and then 7 years pass, and he teaches him. Every single time he figures out a whole breath style, he has to use his blade to cut through a rock with harder material and is bigger, until he gets to the strongest of the breath styles. First he learned water, then he learned then he learned then he learned the breath of the thunder, breath of the flames, breath of wind, breath of stone, breath of moon, and then finally, when Tanjiro thought he was ready, right before his student was gonna leave him, he taught him Breath of the Sun, the most powerful breathing style in Tanjiro's, and the one Tanjiro first learned when he was a kid. And if you're gonna ask me how he taught him, I said this in the last one, when Tanjiro quote unquote killed Muzan Busuji, and all the demons went back to normal, and everybody unlocked a quirk from having a demon gene, um, and it mutated into like an actual thing. Um, what's it, like since Tanjiro didn't unlock a quirk, said Muzan since Tanjiro couldn't just get a quirk randomly because he was never a demon. But so basically, when the when the demon stuff lost hold on the world, he just learned about every single breath style, like how to perform it, but he was never able to because the max someone could learn is one, but he could only learn two because his father showed him the dance of the sun. Or could you learn other breath styles? Probably not. I don't know. But I'm just gonna say you can't for plot armor. And so yeah, that's how he knows. Don't ask me how. Just go with the story, I guess. So yeah, Deku is like the strongest person to ever be a demon slayer, and he doesn't be any of them low fodder ranks. He becomes what's it called? He becomes like what's it called again? A Hashira. He becomes a Hashira, and basically, what he didn't know is they actually remember Tanjiro. Tanjiro is a very important historical figure in the world. So, and he actually is the one in charge of or not vampire. I'm thinking of Sarah for the end right now, of the demon extermination corps, eradication unit, and basically the demon corps. He promotes him to Hashira, and he's the only Hashira and in the corpse because he's the only one that knows breathing styles. So yeah. Then basically, for he never went to school. He's pretty much he's not like he's combat smart, if that makes sense, but he's not like book smart. He's combat smart. He knows how to fight very well and devise strategies in battle against demons and other people as well. But if somebody were to like quiz him like on his math or his any subject, he would fail miserably. Okay. Okay, so yeah, he knows all the elements I listed before. If you guys don't remember, yeah. Okay, so basically now he's at the age of 14 and he's the only Hashira in the extermination unit of of the demons. And Tanjiro tells him, and Tanjiro is like the owner of the corpse, but he cannot get put on a unit yet because it's illegal for him to it's illegal without a hero license. So basically, the commander of the squad tells him he has to go to a hero course, pass the hero course before he can become a frontline fighter and the general, like the most powerful, like commanding officer of the corps, because they're not going to listen to a kid that doesn't have a hero license. So Deku accepts that and says that's fair. Okay, okay. Now we're gonna go to a different perspective. Deku doesn't know this, but Inko has actually had another child. Um, I'm kind of an idiot, so I don't really have good names. So let's just call him um Kisame because that's my favorite character from Naruto. One of and yeah, I'm just gonna call him Kisame. And Kisame is actually she dropped Kisame. She dropped Deku off when she was pregnant with Kisame, and she told him he was too much of a burden while she was pregnant. So, well, not while she was pregnant, she just said he was a burden. But when she did that, she was pregnant. So he's 3 years younger than Deku, but he's a prodigy, and he completely skips 3 years of high school. So he's gonna be in the same year as Deku, but he's gonna be instead of going into college at like I think he goes to college at 15, not college, high school at 15. So he's gonna be 12. He's gonna be 12, but he's like really strong, really smart, book smart, smarter than Deku, stronger than Deku, like quirk wise, because Deku doesn't have a quirk, and his quirk is actually really good. He has a pyrokinetic quirk, and that's what I'm calling it. Basically, he has telekinesis and fire separately. Like he's like basically like Todoroki, kind of like half fire, half telekinesis. But But if he uses his two powers in tandem, if that's the correct word, he can actually control fire to the point like he can increase the heat, he can move fire, he can disperse fire, he can create fires. He can also make an artificial amaterasu, like a fake one basically, and like one that cannot be put out because it's so hot, and he keeps adding more flame and more flame every time you try to extinguish it. So he could basically make like a fake Amaterasu. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna say he's 13 because 12 is kind of a weird age, I guess. So I'm just gonna say he's 13, and he got accepted into UA due to recommendation from two pro heroes. He didn't have to take any sort of tests because two top 10 heroes in their day recommending you. That's actually pretty good. Like, if imagine if All Might and Endeavor both recommend you to the school. That's crazy. But yeah, that's basically that. All Might, when they were around, All Might wasn't the symbol of peace yet because he was really young. He was pretty young. I'm gonna say about like in his like final year of UA when they were in their prime. Okay, so yeah, he would go to the school, and Tanjiro would actually adopt what's it called? Adopt Deku. So Deku's name is Deku Kamado. Or Deku Kamado, Tanjiro Kamado. I think I'm saying that incorrectly, but just let me know in the comments. So yeah, that's gonna be his name. So basically what he's gonna do from then on is go back to the he doesn't know he has a brother, by the way. So yeah, the commander tells him he has to get a hero license before he joins the extermination corps. And he says it's fair. And the 10 months training starts. He already is very immersed in every single breathing style. He knows how to use every single breathing style. Technically, he knows how to use them all, but he's not a master at them all. So, over the 10 months, he trains with Tanjiro in each element. I'm gonna say he, yeah, there's not gonna be in like any weird elements, like side elements, I guess, like that beast mimicry, like that what's his face uses. None of that. You're not using. I can't give him that. Like I just don't think it fit. But I'm not giving him that. So I'm just giving him the seven basic elements like fire, breath of flames, breath of water, breath of thunder, breath of wind, breath of stone, breath of the moon, and breath of the sun. Um, and basically in that 10 months, he's just gonna hone his skills. Like, and what I mean by like he knows them all, but he isn't a master. Like, look at Zenitsu, for example. He only knows one, like, in the beginning, only knows one form of his breathing style, but he's really excellent at it, and is really effective in it. You seen the way he can, like, just, like, I think in that fight, he, like start canceled until a kill. So, in one fight in the manga, it was, like, it's pretty cool. I don't know how to explain it very well, but you have to read it. So, yeah. Basically, he's not a master at it where you can use all the abilities in tandem to make some super insane combo move. He is really just he's like beginning Tanjiro. He knows how to use all the move. He's good at all the moves. He's just not great like Thunderclap and Flash great like Zenitsu was. Like and what I mean my mastery is like look at the Water Hashira. He was insane with the water. Tanjiro wasn't doing what he was doing. He made his own form. And if you guys actually have a form for Tanjiro in stone, any breathing style, just let me know. Okay, let me get back to the story. I'm low-key rambling. So yeah, he after the 10 months training, he goes to UA, and basically since there's two entrance exams, and there's not two entrance exams. There's like two like exams you have to go through to get into the school, like the written and the real portion, like the robot and stuff. The written Tanjiro gets a 5 out of 100, and the 5 is for writing his name. Yeah, um, yeah, it wasn't as bad. But okay, let's go in the real portion of the test. He doesn't actually trip, so he never has to go up to that girl. So he doesn't get stopped by Ida. The gates open and he runs out. And his first move And the first thing he does is he what's it called? He just starts using water style, and water style, yeah. He's using water breathing, and different he's using a bunch of his moves, like his skill set and all the different elements, mainly water breathing, because that's the one he's really good at. Because Tanjiro, since he was like a water breather and a snow breather, snow, a sun breather, that's what he really knows. If you want me to give him some snow breathing, that's a good idea. You guys comment that. So yeah, that's what he's learning. That's what he's using mostly because he's most proficient in that. So yeah, he's basically just doing a bunch of low scale like attacks like water wheels and the water. I think is like the crescent slash or whatever. And then the 0 pointer comes out, and the 0 pointer comes out, and the 0 pointer comes out, and an artificial demon come out, and not a 0 pointer, and the artificial demon is the 0 pointer. Basically, they captured one of um Muzan's fake demons, and they know how to dispatch of it. They put a bomb into its brain that will detonate at any moment. But if they try to kill a student, but their job is to actually try to like make it look believable and chase the students away. Deku actually doesn't end up running because Deku has a vendetta towards demons. Because he always hated demons because I'll just do a flashback. Uh, 6 or 7 years ago, or 6 years ago. Yeah, Deku was 8 years old at this point, and he met his first friend. His friend and his father were actually camping, and he met them, and he became really good friends with them. But the friend's dad went out to go get something, and a demon attacked, killing his best and only friend. Even though he only knew him for a couple days, he never had a real friend, a genuine friend that didn't turn on him because he was quirkless. The boy had a low skill water manipulation quirk, but even still, he didn't bully Deku for not having a quirk at all. And that really resonated with Deku that demons are his number one enemy. Tanjiro ended up killing the demon, but still. So when the demon came out, the girl was still there, Uraraka, but he wasn't going because of Uraraka. He could care less. He was going for his friend. Tanjiro charged. Tanjiro, Tanjiro charged out. Tanjiro charged out, and artificial demons are just humans with no quirks or humans that are dead. So yeah, or animals, as I explained it earlier. But you see, so Tanjiro was first going with the huge major scale thunderclap and flash, and then um he's seen and then not a thunderclap and flash, a water wheel, and then he's seen like the pain in the eyes of the demon. And artificial demons, if it's a person that is like using the power by will, they have a quirk because that's the only way you can make like it's like a curse mark, they can tap into the power. But if it's a person that can't like go back in and out and they're stuck in this state, then they have no quirk, meaning they got their quirk taken somehow and they got turned into this, or they were born quirkless because a regular one would be using their quirk to attack Deku. And he realized that and he saw the pain, so he switched his form mid-air to the blessed rain after the drought. Same thing he did with the spider lady. Uh, pretty wholesome moment, dude. He saved the girl. The demon didn't feel any pain and was released. He prayed for the demon like he did for like a lot of things. He helped the girl up and asked if she's alright. And then something that is crazy. Muzan K. Butsuji. They don't know that he's the one creating the demons. Nobody knows that he was the one who did it back in the day. They think Muzan K. Butsuji is dead because Tanjiro killed him, quote unquote, years ago. So they think, but he's actually among their ranks. He's a teacher there. And he's a teacher there. And he's a teacher there. His name is still Muzan. His name is still Muzan, but his last name isn't Kibutsuji. They don't know it at all, and they don't ever connect the dots at all either. So, yeah, his name is just Muzan. And when he sees the boy, he tells Nezu, "That boy there, I want him in my class." And he said he got the lowest marks on the written test ever. I don't think we can accept him into UA. And he said, "That boy could become a fine hero one day. Just trust me, Nezu." Okay, I trust you. Okay, guys, that is the end of my first what if. I know I'm pretty bad, so just tell me things I can improve on. Um, yeah, tell me things I can improve on. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment. Even if you don't even if you don't want to like or subscribe to my channel, just please leave a content like a comment saying it was a okay at least. Um, thank you for listening. I'll be out with part 2 maybe tomorrow or the next day. Bye.